Hello. Did you like that? That's my little entry into the Pixar Hall of Fame. You never know, do you? Welcome to Rock and Ray. Only it's minus Ray. It's just me tonight. And I just want to say huge best wishes to Ray and little Ray. Who is in hospital at the moment, and Ray's there. He's got all of his gaming gear and everything. He's all set up, ready to go. So yeah, huge best wishes to Ray and your son. We've spoken daily, and I've checked in, and he's doing okay. He's doing all right. But anyway, so it's just me today, and thank you all for joining. It's an absolute pleasure as always to see you. I've got something interesting to talk to you about today, and it's going to probably take up most of the show. So forgive me, this isn't a standard Rock and Ray. You'll have seen that because of the intro. My little, you see, that's a play on the fact that I'm by far the oldest person in the community, and so why not play it up? That's what I say, and that's important because community is very much the buzzword for tonight's show. So before we get started, let's have a quick look in the chat and see who we've got here. Well, we've got Blake Stadia. Hello, Blake. How are you? We've got Dave from Codex Chronicles, Andy from Good Rebel Gaming. Hi, mate. Lee from Stadium Mania. I was speaking to Lee on the phone actually before the show kicked off. He's going live tonight with a big FIFA extravaganza, but the trouble is he'd had 2 power cuts in the last hour. He was absolutely bricking it, but it'll be fine, mate. It'll all be fine, I promise you. Who else have we got? We've got Lloyd. Hi, Lloyd. How are you? Thanks for joining. Lukey, good to see you, my friend. Lord Gaming Man, Brandon, love you, babe. And Ruben, thank you so much for the super chat. That's very kind of you. And I also spotted one earlier as well, or later even. It may not have shown up yet, from Sean, I think it was. Yes, it was. Wolock, thank you, my friend. Really appreciate your support, guys. And thanks for coming along as well. So without further ado, I'm going to dedicate most of the rest of the show, as I've just said, to what I think is exciting, and hopefully you will agree with me as well. So as you know, just recently, there's been quite a lot going on in the Stadia community. Lots of people, for various reasons, most of them good, deciding that they want to expand into other platforms, which is absolutely fine, and there's absolutely no reason at all why not to. But I'm kind of doubling down because I still massively believe in Stadia. I still think that it was the reason I started streaming, and the only reason. I had no ulterior motives. It's all been about supporting this particular platform. At the same time, playing on other platforms, I've never ever lied to you guys. I've got a PS5. I'm trying to buy an Xbox. I've got GeForce Now and so on. But for me, Stadia is the epitome of cloud gaming, and it's why I continue to support it and absolutely love it. So I am doubling down. What do you mean, Rokk? Well, I've got some guests. So let me pull my friends on a second. And here they are. Look, it's Blake.
What's going on?
And a circle with an S in the middle. Who is actually Spectre. I'll just pop their names on
Hi,
here.
everybody.
Guys, how are you?
Doing good?
Good.
Good
How
to
are
see
you?
you all. So the reason that these two lovely gentlemen are here is that I'm really, really proud to announce that soon, hopefully next week, I will be joining the Stadia Bash community.
Come on.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've
such an
watched these
honor.
guys for so long, doing such an amazing job. And for me now, they're probably the largest group of really positive, big positive energy in the Stadia community. Kind of feels like it's where I should be. So starting next Tuesday, I'm hoping, I'll be launching a new show. Rock and Ray, still going to be going, but it's going to move off to Thursday, so tomorrow instead of today. And Tuesday, I'll be launching a new show. And that new show is going to be called Rokk's blog bash. You say that 6 times. And now that you may have guessed, because it's on Tuesday, it's actually going to launch at the time that the Stadia community blog goes live, which is at the moment 5 p.m. in the UK. In America, your clocks have gone forward. Ours go forward at the end of this month. So it'll be 6 p.m. in April. And I'll be joined by people like my good friends here today, guys from the Stadia Bash Network. And we'll be talking about the community blog for the Tuesday and also the one that preceded it on the Thursday. And then we'll be padding it out with news, especially if there's not a lot to talk about. But I'm really excited about that. That's going to be for 1 hour, as I say, at the time that the Stadia community blog goes live. So Blake and Spectre, thank you so much, guys, for coming along this evening. I know, Blake, you've given up a date night with the wife, which is, to be fair, the ultimate in sacrifices.
I've been doing my chores, I've been doing my dishes, so I'm just returning what's owed.
Bless you. And Spectre, we've not actually spoken before, have we? But it's an absolute honour to have you on, because you are the reason that this community, the Stadia Bash network community, exists. You actually started this whole thing. Tell us, give us the background history.
For the Stadia Bash, I just wanted. It came at a time when. It came at a time when there was so much going on with the world, and I figured, you know what? I wanted to do something to bring people together, and I was just tired of seeing all the unnecessary hate for Stadia. I mean, sure, the platform has criticisms and all, but I wanted at least people to, at least have an open mind, and also it's about games. And it's just getting together and just having fun, and just being there, and just unity is the main thing I wanted to do, and not only promote the platform but also promote small up and coming content creators as well, and give them the spotlight that they deserve.
It's a really honourable thing to do, and as I've said, I was very much aware of the whole concept from the start, but it's been amazing to watch it happen. And to be fair, the reason that I didn't kind of get on board early on was for that reason, that I felt that it was something for new streamers, particularly the guys that have come on since obviously YouTube integration became part of the whole Stadia package. But it's grown to such a point now where some of those guys that were new when you started are now doing more than I've ever done, and growing by the day. So I thought I need to get in on this. Now listen, there's somebody just approaching on the door. I love this. What a ham I am. Listen, can you hear? Why, it's Lee from Stadia Dad Gaming.
Like no Lebanon's house party.
That's all we needed. Spectre, come back. I didn't get rid of him, folks. Lee, how are you, my friend?
I'm very good, mate. And you?
Yeah, I'm super hyped and super pumped to be joining. Now you're also here. We go. We got our friend back. Here we go, Spectre. So you and Blake you've been members for quite some time with the network, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've been with the network. Well, the Bash community. I've been with them since Christmas. I did the holiday Bash with them. I streamed Star Wars, and I think I'd literally been streaming in about 4 days. And Spectre and Anthony approached me, and I've never been so frightened in my life to do something. I've been streaming to about 3 people, and then I got on the first stream. I think there was about 15 to 20 people in that stream, and I was absolutely feared to death. But I had a blast, and I've never looked back. It's been one of the best things I've ever done.
And I joined on the tail end of Stadia.
Stadia Bash community.
Go on, Blake.
Yeah, no, I joined in the tail end of Stadia Dead. So actually, at the end of December, I never forget. I was saying to Lee a while ago. I was watching him whilst washing up. He always streamed around dinner after dinner when I'm washing up. So I'm washing up, and I was watching Stadia Dead. And I started messaging in the chat, and he was like, I'll say, hey, it's such a cool game. You playing Stadia? And then he was like, oh, hey, Blake Stadia. And I'm like, honey, that's Stadia Dad. He said my name. And then from me talking to the Grandmaster Stadia Dad, he got me into the Stadia Bash.
Well, he might be the grandmaster, but I'm the granddad.
The Grand Wizard.
Yeah, they don't come any older than me. Oh, we've lost Spectre again. Not to worry. So, yeah, Lee, it's been, I mean, again, watching both you and Blake, and how I think one of the things I've loved about the network is it's kind of given this bedrock. Without trying to pull any puns, I might come back and create a show on that one at some point. Yeah, but laying in bed at 4 a.m, I think I'll stream Bedrock. So you know, it's been a great sort of foundation for you two guys to springboard from. Would you agree?
100%.
100%, yeah, definitely. If it weren't for, I don't think if it wasn't for the network, I don't think I'd have half the subscribers that I've got now.
Yep.
To be honest.
Yep. Hugely.
You got guys like Spectre, Anthony, Ray, StadiaVet Gaming, William, and these guys, they're constantly in your chat and they're promoting you. They're like your own personal PR.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just amazing. And then you'll get notifications on your Twitter, and these guys are constantly tweeting about you and promoting your streams. They're just amazing people. It's just an amazing community, and I love it.
And I'd like to add that we don't take for full transparency, we don't take a cut out of anything for all of this work. We literally do this because we want to promote everybody. And that's the same with Anthony and Vet. We all do this just to look out to everybody. So I just want anybody who wants to or interested, we don't take cuts of anything. I don't even ask for YouTube money if you get monetized. I just want to help. That's all.
And that's one of the things that, you know, in kind of observing the growth of the network over the last few months, is it really is a hugely supportive community. You know, I mean, I've done my bit in trying to promote it, and you know, given over time to my shows and stuff. But all the time, I know you guys are forever. You know, you've got your own kind of, you know, behind the scenes conversations going on, and you're supporting each other, and you're all, you know, when there's a stream, you're all jumping in, and it's just fantastic to watch. And I think it's one of the things that we all loved about Stadia, certainly in the early days, was that kind of positivity of friendship, you know, that sort of spirit of being the underdog in many ways, and how that gives you a spirit to move things forward. And I love seeing it here. You know, it's just, but it's obviously it's a network of content creators and people that want to, you know, show their dedication to the platform. I mean, this is the main YouTube channel, so this is the hub, really, isn't it? This is where you guys have a series of streamers or content creators that are basically slotted in throughout the day of each day of the week. So we've got here Monday, and obviously Royal Donut, Stadia Pro, Sammy in the Cloud, Emma, who I don't know the latest news. Has she had their little girl yet, or are they still hanging?
Not seen anything announced yet. I think she's due any minute, any day.
It's literally, isn't it? Jeff, Ray, obviously love out to Ray as well. And then all of these streams, which are links out to your channels. So anybody involved, you're not essentially giving up your channels. You're not going to lose your views or anything else. This is just a big promotional, kind of cross-promotional setup. Tuesdays, where of course you'll be seeing my very good self, hopefully from next Tuesday. And just to come back on the format as well for my show, the just to remind you folks, this the Rokk's blog bash, there it is. So the idea is it's like a lot of these platform shows, but the difference here is that, you know, panel shows. The difference is that everybody that joins me will be from the Bash network. So these guys will almost certainly be guests, obviously around their own lives. And it'll be centered on the Stadia community blog, which, as we know, a lot of people cover. But we want to be there right the minute it goes live, and then we'll dive in and we'll break it apart for the first time and talk about what is uncovered and new games that are coming and so on. So you'll be experiencing that the first time as we do. So really excited about that. It's going to be a great show. I've just got to get and put some music and stuff together. That's the annoying thing. So that's my next project. But yeah, so the whole week there are the most talented and most amazing up and coming content creators. Is there nobody on a weekend? Is it just Monday to Friday?
Yeah, so the idea is that we are saving the weekends
Hmm.
for specialty stuff. So
Gotcha.
last month we celebrated Black History Month. So we saved that
Yes.
off for like specialty big time events. So we can
Fantastic.
that way everybody can also catch a break as well.
And you've got, yeah, and you've got another event coming up shortly. Celebrate Women as well, I believe. Anthony was mentioning the other day.
Yes, we are working on that one as well. We're aiming for
Who's gone again?
He's for a better internet connection. I would be if it was me.
Bless him.
But yeah, so there's special events on the weekends. There we go. It's
Hello.
sadly for you, Spectre, it's not your fault. It's because the server that I'm using is based in Europe, as are these two gentlemen. So you've obviously got a lot further to stretch your connection over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's a really good point. And in truth, the original concept kind of came about as a special, didn't it? With the very original one was just this kind of one-off special event, which then expanded,
Yes.
and then you went to the YouTube hub, and it's kind of exploded from there.
Hmm. Yeah, we when we did this, I just pitched it originally as just a one-time thing, and actually a little known fact, I actually was planning to pitch it to Anthony because I thought he knew he had something planned, but then the more we talked about it, he just pushed me to reiterate and just completely change everything. So it's just an amazing experience, and just to see everybody was super interested in it from the last talk show podcast on the first ever bash was just amazing. And I saw something like a great potential for this platform that we just inadvertently created. So, and I wanted to keep that momentum and use it for some good.
It's I mean, one of the other things that don't worry, I'll tell you chaps this. One of the other things that I've loved that I love about the network is that every single individual that I've spoken to has become a friend. I mean, even people like Anthony,
Yeah.
who, I mean, obviously I was aware of the work that he was doing, and he's such a talent, and watching him on Stadia source. But again, behind the scenes, what a lovely guy! Every single one of you is genuinely people that you would be more than happy to consider friends, and
100%.
that's so important, isn't it? When you're doing, we're all kind of in this really weird world where every single day, you never know what's just coming around the corner, and it's stressful, and we're all anxious, and we need a support network.
Yeah.
So why not have that in the platform, the gaming platform that truthfully has always underlined positivity.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we got some again, some fantastic people have joined us in the chat. Thank you guys. Eli here, who's trying to get Lloyd to take part in the network, but fair play to Lloyd. He's got rather a lot of them.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, but I don't know if I'm going to tell you this. I actually was speaking to somebody earlier who is really keen to join, and he is none other than Stadia Mania. So you heard it here, folks. I think Lee will be joining you guys soon with his special take on soccer football, which I think it should be renamed, by the way, soccer football globally.
Rolls off the tongue.
Nobody's confused then, are they?
Or is it football soccer? Like,
well, like you have American football, don't you? So the kind of football is the word that follows, you see.
Okay.
So you kind of need soccer football, and then
Just football for me.
footy.
Let's not,
Yeah.
let's not confuse things.
And gaming advocates in the chat as well. Hello, Chase. Thank you for joining tonight. Really appreciate that, my friend. Some absolutely lovely people. Lukey, only met Lukey for the first time.
Oh, he's a legend.
Yeah, lovely guy, with a fantastic Mr. Puff from the Ghostbusters there on his desk, which I was hugely envious of. And while we're talking about that, actually, Lee, this is a good opportunity for us to, and why not, to advertise again what's coming up on the 3rd and 4th of April.
Yes, we got a very big event coming along on the 3rd and 4th of April. It's our 24-hour stream of Red Dead Redemption 2 online in aid of Fair Share Greater Manchester. They're an organisation that collects food and waste food that can still be used, and they distribute it to different charities and community centres, after-school clubs, breakfast clubs, and just help anybody really that's struggling in the pandemic or just struggling in life and just putting food on the table. And they just need as much money as possible. Today, we've just actually breached £700. We've got £701 in the kitty now. I put a plea out on my last stream that I did 7 till 8. There we are, 701. I think it was Dave Widnall that got us over that £700 mark. So thank you to him.
That is amazing.
Thank you to everybody that's donated up to now. You've blown our minds. We didn't expect this. I mean, the target was £500, but for the whole thing. And here we are, nearly 2 weeks down the line, and we've had to raise the target to £1,000 now. So just goes to show.
The support, and not just from the guys in the Bash Network, although obviously that's been sharing with friends is powerful. You see, even just giving's getting in on the message. Bless them. But not just the Bash guys, who I know have been massively supportive, but just in the wider community as well. You know, people like Avery from Stadia Source, for example. I mean, just a whole bunch of guys that will have more to say on the day, and how they've been massively supportive. And I'm not giving anything away, Lee, but we have got, I know you have got something absolutely mind-blowingly amazing to break before the big event.
Yeah, I think on the Friday, I'm looking, because I do a show on Friday, 8 till 10, called TSI Friday, which is Thanks Stadia, it's Friday, where usually it's just multiplayer games and stuff, and a few beers. But what we're going to do is like a pre-show, just to talk about the event, get people excited, hyped up for it. And last night, I received an email from somebody containing a video. Now, this video is from somebody from the world of Red Dead Redemption.
Hang on, mate. No, I'm trying to keep a cap on this.
I've already mentioned this in tweets and all sorts. So it's not going. That's all I'm saying. That this person is from the world of Red Dead Redemption, and they're involved, and that's all I'm going to say.
It's
do not miss.
Hat off to Lee, ladies and gentlemen, because he has worked his little socks off in the background to pull this off, and the proof is in the pudding. It's already. 200. Yes, right. It used to have a mullet. Now there's got nothing left. So the proof is in that amount of money. That is absolutely amazing. And we're going to be keeping going. There will be some giveaways over the weekend. All sorts of fun and games are being planned. It's not just going to be a game stream. It's not just a 24-hour game stream. There's going to be some real fun stuff happening.
Yeah. We want these guys, people in the chat, people in the community, to get involved with us, to jump in the stream. You know, I've got events, and we've all got events that we've got in mind that we can get people involved. So it's not just going to be the 5 or 6 of us streaming Red Dead. It's going to be a massive community event where everyone can get involved. If you've got Red Dead Redemption 2, of course.
Yeah.
Well, that was certainly part of it, but you were planning on some other stuff as well, weren't you?
Obviously, you know, maybe get some Destiny 2 in there. You know, a few hours of Destiny 2 where people could jump in with us and play some of that. You know, some of the free games that everybody has access to, and they can jump in and play along with us.
Just a quick shout out. I did mention you, my lovely friend, at the beginning of the show, but his raise, literally messaging in from hospital just to say a big thank you to me and the Stadia Bash Community Network and the gaming community generally. He's absolutely right. The support has been great and well deserved. You are a massive part of our community, Ray, and obviously our love and best wishes to you and your family, my friend.
Yeah, and we all the best, mate.
Absolutely wish you the very, very best. So that's all good. So hugely excited. My role is kind of what would you say? I would just rent a gob, really.
You're producer, director,
Announcer.
Yeah.
If you're from the UK, I'm basically playing the role of Terry Wogan. If you're not, then somebody else. It'll come to me in a second in the States. But yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Really looking forward to it. How the hell I'm going to stay awake, I have no idea.
We need all the viewers' support. Honestly, if you were like under 30, the idea of a 24-hour stream's like, yeah, I love it. It'll be brilliant. Honestly, being over 30, I ain't looking forward to it. That's all.
Over 30, I'm almost twice that, mate.
Well, I didn't want to make you guys feel bad, but yeah, okay. You guys, I'm all right, but you guys.
I tell you, I'll be all right. As long as I've got my Sonata Gin, my Horlicks, and my Cocker Spaniel, I'll be all good.
I'm just feared to death you're going to come to me, cut to me midstream, and I'm going to be like that in my chair.
It will be fantastic, mate. It'll be absolutely fantastic. So there you go. So to recap, I'm joining the Stadia Bash community network, started by Spectre. Just he's popping in and out again, and these two lovely fellows. And that's going to be next Tuesday with the says he trying to be clever. Rokk's Blog Bash, and I know I'm going to be calling it the Bog Brush or something, because there's no way I can tongue twist that one for the rest of the week. But that's coming up. That's going to be great fun. Now then, chaps, as we've got about half an hour left, are you guys okay for if we have a quick run through of some of the more recent Stadia news?
Let's do it.
Can I shoot? Because I've got to be on another stream at 10 o'clock, and I need to spend some time with Emma Stadia Mum.
Of course,
as some of you get to know, so yeah,
we'll give you permission.
Wise
thank
man.
you very much. Thank you. You don't want to be the wrath of Emma, so thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, speak to you later, Lee. Thank you.
Love you, Lee.
Bye.
Take care, buddy.
Take care.
So
What an awesome human being.
He's an absolute
Yes.
gem, a legend. So let's see, where are we? Here we go. Let's pull up the today's page. Let's get rid of Lee there. Where is he? There he's gone. Right. So now I've not done a huge amount of prep because I was taking more time putting my little caveman video together than anything else.
That was class. That was class.
That was awesome. I loved it.
Thank you. That was for those of you who haven't seen it. Here it is.
It's the bit in the end every time.
Comic timing, you see, it's important stuff. You think it's all over? It is now. So, our friends at Stadia Source will be our source of news today.
Awesome.
It would be. My monitor's just switched. Oh, it's come back again. There we are. Now, I did actually. Here we go. So, today's news brought to you from StadiaSource.com, who, of course, is hosted by Rokk.
What are the odds?
I know. What are the odds? What are the odds?
Yeah.
Now, I get told off every time I pull up their site because I don't know why, but it refuses to keep me logged in. And I can't. Oh, let me can do this one. Here we go. So I'll choose. Let me see. Let's try that one there. I don't mind if you want to email me, folks. Don't bother me none. Right, now we're in. We get less screen. Lots going on today.
Yep.
One of the things that's been going on today is this rather important game to the platform.
Foosball.
You a big old football fan, I'm guessing, Blake?
No, I'm sorry. I've had so many people DM me about saying, Blake, guess what? I got FIFA. Look, you're British. You must love this. I'm like, I haven't got a clue. Have you seen, again, this might be a UK thing, but if you watch the IT crowd where they sit there and they're just stuck at a game with a bunch of guys who are typical lads. I'm the one of those guys who literally will blag it. Honestly, true story, by the way. When I was dating my wife, I went to go to her house and her brother and all his mates were there watching the foot. They're watching the old footy, they were. And I had a choice. Either stay in the kitchen and bake a cake or be with the lads with a beer, watch the game. I blagged the whole thing. I just grunted when they grunted. I cheered when they cheered. My wife, my girlfriend at the time, walked in and was like, Blake, you have no idea what's going on in this game. And then all the boys just stared at me like, sus! So I went back in the kitchen to make some cake with the wife and just admit defeat.
I have to admit, equally, I know nothing about the game. Well, that's not true.
Thank you.
I mean, but I'm not as big. I'm not. Yeah, you kind of think, don't you? You think English or British? It's football and cup of tea. I don't partake of either.
Yeah, I drink coffee.
I know. Spectre, are you into soccer?
I was for a little bit when I was a kid. I did play briefly in 6th grade. That's about it, though, other than that.
See, but
Building
that's the
knowledge.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I mean, and to be fair, you know, if I go back to my youth, back when dinosaurs were walking the earth, you know, it wasn't even part of the culture in the States at all. So, you know, hat off to the way that they've managed to, because if they've started it with, you know, it's a bit like gaming, isn't it? If you're a gamer as a kid, chances are you're a gamer for life. And similarly, if you're into sports, any kind of sport as a young person, chances are that, you know, you'll take it forward. So I look at it like this. There's a reason McDonald's lose money giving you a toy, because they've got you hooked for life. It's if it works for drug addicts, it works for McDonald's. That's what I say.
Absolutely.
But anyway, irrespective of the fact that there's three guys stood here reviewing a game that neither of them probably own or will ever own, it is massively, massively popular. And I am informed, Original Penguin, Adam, who actually got a shout out on 9 to 5 Google for this. He's looked at it. He's confirmed it's 4K, 60 frames per second. 9 to 5 Google said it is probably the best implementation of the game next to a PC. And I know I've spoken to a few guys who bought it today, played it, and you know, they're big FIFA aficionados, and they've said it is actually a really, really good port.
Nice.
So we waited a little bit of time for it to come, but it does sound like we've got a great rendition of it. So that's got to be good news, yeah?
I think in the football world, this is Stadia's cyberpunk moment, but with football in a sense. As you say, it's a fantastic port, and for the price of what it is because FIFA, like if you was to buy it brand new, I mean, you think how much it was? They could have sold this on Stadia for a lot higher price than what it is.
Yeah.
So for the name and how big this game is, I think. And the fact that you can play it so well on Stadia, I think for the price, it's a done deal if you're a football fan.
And the price isn't bad. You know, again, it's there's that thing going on about, well, the dollar and the pound, and they're both similar. But, you know, I mean, the point is, as I've said before, we have tax built into our price, and you guys in the States have to add it on after, don't you? So, you know, it's not quite what it looks. But if you compare it more importantly to how much it is on other platforms, I believe it's just slightly cheaper than most other platforms. So in truth, you know, they've kind of hit it. They've hit the home run, which is a completely different sport. But, you know, what the heck? Exactly. So that is awesome. And just another reminder that Lee's Stadia Mania, as opposed to Lee's Stadia Dad Gaming, is streaming if he doesn't get another power cut at 10 p.m. tonight, which is in an hour and 20 odd minutes, and he's going to be doing FIFA, and he's put a lot of time and effort into creating a whole kind of Stadia community around FIFA. Because I don't know if you ever watched Blake, but you wouldn't, to be fair, because you know you're not into football, but he used to do a great job of streaming Football Manager on Stadia. I mean, a real knowledge of the game and the sport. With great banter as well. So a really lovely guy. So Lee is going to be, Stadia Mania is going to be doing FIFA at 10. And I'm really pleased, guys, go along and watch him because he is hugely entertaining. And although I know a lot of people are streaming the game today, this guy knows it intimately. He knows the football scene intimately. You know, he's the fella to watch. So yeah, that's going to be superbo. The other thing that happened today, I'm not sure if this happened everywhere or whether it was just in the UK. It may not even be on Stadia Source. I did notice them tweet about it, but there was a reduction on the price of Stadia controllers from £90 down to £53.
Heard about that. A lot of people weren't happy,
Well,
especially those who recently purchased it just before it dropped.
But let's face
Oh,
it,
yeah.
whenever
Yeah.
there's a sale on anything, doesn't matter whether it's dog food or eggs, somebody bought it more expensively the minute before the sale happened.
Yep.
I mean, what are they supposed to do? Send you an
Yeah.
email, don't buy anything for 6 months because we're bringing the price down.
It's
True.
true. It's true.
It's always going to be the case. But,
Yeah.
I mean, there will be those that say, oh, it's because they can't get rid of them. But there's always going to be a spin somewhere,
Yeah.
isn't there? I mean, the key
Yeah.
thing is that it is,
Yeah.
really good price now.
Yeah.
So I would actually like to find that because I think I may have got the prices wrong. I don't think it was ever 90 quid for a controller. It was about 50 odd quid anyway, wasn't it? Oh, here we go. Here we go. So, yeah, okay. Premier Edition, I beg your pudding. So that included the controller and the Chromecast Ultra. So that's dropped from $89.99 to $53.99. There you go.
It's the cheapest console I've ever seen in my life.
Mic drop, my friend.
It
Absolutely.
is, yep.
Are you going to be buying any more of these for your loved ones for Christmases and birthdays?
Might as well. You could buy like 6 of them for the price you would pay for a standard console.
They did a deal, if I remember rightly, around Cyberpunk, didn't they?
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
bought Cyberpunk, you got the Premier Edition. And
Yeah.
this is kind of, I think, timed, not bundled with FIFA, but it ain't far off. And I think it's kind of a bundle to get people that are going, oh, FIFA. And it's supposed to be brilliant. It's kind of cyberpunk quality
Yep.
on Stadia. So I could actually buy the controller, get the Chromecast, get my X months of free Stadia, and buy FIFA for the price of
Yeah.
probably what it was when it launched, in fairness. So I'm suspecting that's what's going on here.
Yeah, I think it exactly is a cookie cutout of the whole Cyberpunk scenario because they realized how successful it was, and actually it put a lot of people to shame when they were saying how bad Cyberpunk was. I mean, Stadia was, but yet
Yeah.
Cyberpunk works so well on that, and I think it's exactly the same for this. As you were saying, I've heard so many good things about FIFA running extremely well on Google Stadia. So why wouldn't you use this as an opportunity to get more people in? Because surprisingly, I don't know if you guys have done this before, but I tried to Google what is Stadia on like Google and YouTube and stuff like that. There's still a large portion of the gaming community who haven't ever either heard of the name or not heard anything at all of Google Stadia. So I think they should keep doing events and opportunities like this because there's so many people who still don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I agree. Spectre,
Yeah, I agree.
do you feel that's what's going on here?
I definitely feel like they should too. I mean, I feel like from what I see, Google has been just relying solely on it seems more like a word of mouth kind of, and there's still
Yeah.
a huge population of people who still have no clue what Stadia is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a marketing exercise. I'm absolutely convinced of that. The same as it was when they bundled it with Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I was speaking again to Stadia Mania before I went live, and he was saying how he'd been speaking to his friends who haven't kind of committed to a next gen console, but he's able to say they've now got FIFA and you can get on board for 50 quid plus 20 quid for the game, and they're going, wow, actually I'm pretty interested in that. And there will be, as we've said before, there are people who only play FIFA or only play NBA or only play Call of Duty or what have you.
Yeah.
And once you've got
Yeah.
that one game lock in,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you've got an audience, haven't you?
Hugely.
Yeah. So that's fantastic news. So I think those two actually do go hand in hand as a news story. Let's go back to the news. The top of the news, as they say. So Doom Eternal's got a new, I don't know if it's a DLC, I think it is, The Ancient Gods Part 2. I mean, I have to admit, I didn't really get into Doom Eternal. I did buy it. but it was all for a man of my mature age, Blake. I did struggle. I've struggled to kill things
Really?
in Doom Eternal.
Oh.
Yeah, the brain sends a signal to the fingers a little bit. They talk about stadia lag. You wait till you get age lag, mate. When you go, your brain's going, press the button, and your thumb's going. Nah, it's essentially where I am.
Oh dear.
Age lag is terrible, I tell you. So so any fast-paced games like this, they tend to leave me for dust. I was watching Lee, confusing Lee Stadia Dad, playing Avicii, and like, how the heck is his brain sending a signal that fast to his fingers? He's getting like 100%, and I'm chuffed with 15%. But there you go. But anyway, Doom Eternal's hugely successful, hugely loved in the community and across the world. Are you guys Doom Eternal fans?
I haven't got it yet, and I need to get it because it is right up my alley. If anyone's seen many of my streams, I tend to just go in, I switch the brain off, and if I've got a hammer or a gun or whatever it is, I just hold the trigger button and I just go to town. And you don't have to think about it. That's what I love about this game. It literally is a pure hack slash blow, laser destroy, rip apart, and don't think about it. Like there's a storyline, but I don't really care. I just want to kill things. And I still have yet to play it, so I know it's one of those ones I need to add to my library. I have to.
Kumnar's making me chuckle. He says, I'm about 60 years younger than you, Rokk. Well, mate, that makes you about minus 13. He is. We have a spermatozoa in the chat tonight, ladies and gentlemen. A twinkle in the old man's eye, or an eye in the old man's twinkle. So Doom Eternal is coming out tomorrow, depending when this was written, 6 hours ago. Whoops. Yep. So that's very cool if you're a Doom Eternal fan. We've also got now this is interesting. Disco Elysium. Have either of you guys heard of this?
No.
I've never heard of it.
Now, I'd not heard of this. I kind of had, but not taken much interest. But this is coming March 30th to Stadia, and I have to say, it looks bloody brilliant.
What is it?
Yeah. Now, sadly, I don't think you can. Can you hear that?
No.
No, I didn't set the audio on the thing, unfortunately. This guy's got if you took my voice and dropped it down 6 octaves, it sounds like me. It sounds absolutely brilliant. But this looks so good. It really does look.
It's more of a story-driven game, isn't it? That kind of rings a bell now. I think I've seen this. I glanced over this trailer a while ago. This is on the Stadia trailer kind of playlist, isn't it?
Yes, I think.
I think I've seen it.
I think they've promoted it in the past, but it looks stunning. Graphically, it looks gorgeous.
It does.
And I would buy it for this guy's voice alone, to be fair. I read somewhere in there, and look, logo gate, Stadia. I also read that it says here, it has the inclusion of 1 million professionally voice acted words. And don't get that wrong. It doesn't mean 1 million actors. It just means there's 1 million words in there. I don't know whether that's a lot or not. It sounds a lot.
Yeah, it sounds impressive.
It sounds very good, doesn't it? From actors all over the world. So, this looks really good, actually. It's going to be priced mid-range. So you're looking at about $40, £35. But I do think that is one to have a look at. So looking forward to the reviews of that one. I always love it when at the end of a little video clip, it kind of shows you the stuff that you watch. Because
I'm curious about on the bottom right-hand corner.
Now, this guy, Blake, you'll be very interested in. He's a doctor, and his videos, Dr. John Campbell, he's an absolute favorite of mine. He does a show every single day. He's a retired doctor, and he does chapter and verse facts on COVID and things like vitamin D and stuff. But he does a brilliant job. He's well, as you saw there, 120,000 views per show, because he is so good at getting the raw facts over to every man like us. So I would highly recommend. I watch him every day. And these guys are brilliant as well. Rokk and Ray. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
I don't recognize. I recognize the Ray, but the Rokk.
No, that's just a cutout, I think.
Okay.
I don't think he exists, that fella. And yeah, and there you go, and a bit of Far Cry as well from who was that? That was
That's,
Dave
Codex.
Yeah,
Codex.
absolutely fantastic. So there you go. I have seen some really dodgy clips when people's videos end, and you think, "Whoa, mate, I wouldn't have admitted to that." So there's a little lesson there if you're a streamer.
Yeah.
Make sure you clear your cache out quick. Royce, getting back to the news. So we've got Disco Elysium, which looked great. We've got FIFA, which is a huge buzz, huge excitement around Stadia at the moment, and that Doom Eternal thing. There's lots of new stuff coming up, actually. Nanotale, which again is it's not new. It's been promoted for a bit, but that's launching at the end of the month as well. So we've got a pocket of games that are coming out literally in the last couple of days of the month, which is, it's kind of unusual given that the next day they're giving away 2, 3, 4 games. And I don't know, there's a reason for that or what that is, but you'd sort of think they'd want to have a little bit of breathing space between people saying, I'm not going to spend any money because the pro games are coming up in a few days. And, sort of here's a £35, $35 game. Just a thought, but I'm sure there are reasons. But this does look good. It's a game that I think I'm right in saying you type. So instead of firing bullets at things, it's sort of how you can type the words out and stuff. So it's got an educational aspect to it as well, Blake.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, I mean, I've said this before in previous videos, that this is one of the other awesome things I love about Stadia. It's not a one single targeted audience kind of it's not for a particular group of gamers. It is a variety of people. You could be a family person, you need some games just to let this could be a game you'd give to your son to play, like you give him your iPad and you go play Stadia. I'll go wash up in the kitchen with your mum or whatever, or you're a hardcore gamer, you're an indie gamer. They're trying to be as wide as possible to as wide audience as possible. As you said about it being more of an educational aspect. If I had kids, which not yet, but I would definitely be like, you know what, I would love to get my kid behind. If I wanted to play video games, I'd want something like that. And I'd be, oh wow, that's also on Stadia. So I don't need to fork out on a console or buy one of those silly little iPad games that you have to. They keep asking for more coins and they keep approaching. Oh, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Candy Crush and all that.
Yeah. Daddy, can I have £2 for more coins, please? But no. But anyway, that's what I love about Stadia. It's so wide in how many people they're trying to target.
Spectre, what kind of games do you... Sorry, mate.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's okay. I was going to say, it just made me, just because of the pro subscription, it just made me appreciate the indie games, like the small developed games. But what was your question?
I was going to say, what kind of games do you typically play? Is this the kind of game, these indie games that you would play normally?
Yeah. Sometimes it fluctuates depending on what I feel like, but lately I have been playing more of a Journey to the Savage Planet, which I thought I wasn't going to like, but I ended up streaming 4 hours. Or not 4 hours.
Wow.
3 hours yesterday.
See, young folks, you can do things like that. I can't. I've got to have my 15-minute wee break. I can't be doing with that.
2 hour nap.
Incontinence pants. That's the new thing for streamers,
Oh, yes.
Keep telling yourself that.
Yeah, it works for me. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yes, no, you're right though, Spectre, because I've kind of... I love to try different games because you never know when I've come across so many really good games that never really got much of a press. But the great thing about Stadia is that they're curating these high quality indie games. So, you're not just getting any old stocking filler. Whatever is prepared for the platform, it's going to be of a certain quality threshold. And it just really exposes you to that, doesn't it?
And that's one thing that Stadia holds to testament, really, is that they don't let any old indie game, any old willy nilly game on there. It has to have some form of quality. Some people assume it's pure graphics. It's not always about the graphics. And you say there could be some games that are just so simple to look at, but yet you can get so immersed in the storyline and the creative of ways of how you can use it. You know what, if you're going to play an indie game on Stadia, you know it's going to be a good game. There is a reason for it to be on that store.
Yeah, no, that's a fair shout. So Eli in the chats, bless him, has asked me this a couple of times. I didn't get around to it the first time. Question to Rokk: when do you think they will discontinue the Premier Edition? Premier indicates something new. Well, it can do, Eli, but it can also, it can also indicate the first or the best. Premier indicates something new that won't last for long, so they need to make a new bundle. Yeah, who knows right now. A couple of months ago, I would have speculated, but I think with the recent changes, it'll be interesting. I think whatever happens next, it's got to. What we do know is happening is that Stadia is coming to Google TV at some point very soon. They said first quarter of 21, which is April, by the end of April, I think. And also we know that it's coming to LG TVs as well later in the year. So for me, I think it's probably more going to be about mass inclusion than tying you into an ecosphere.
Yeah.
So at the moment, you kind of, for the best experience, you've got to use a Stadia controller. I can imagine the next phase will be actually you don't have to use any particular hardware. It will work pretty darn good with anything that you've got, particularly the newer consoles or newer controllers. What do you, let me open that out to you guys. What do you think? I mean, just help
I'll let you,
yourself.
Spectre, go.
Jump in. Spectre, you go.
I insist.
Yeah, we don't really know at all what they're planning. I feel like they're trying to focus more on like trying to include, like you said, to all devices.
Yeah.
We have heard about Project Hailstorm, but it seems like it was scrubbed out from the latest, I believe, the APK teardown. If you guys haven't read that yet, it was kind of omitted a little bit, but I feel like that could be what they're trying to focus on. It's just trying to push their Stadia just on all the existing devices, and I feel like that could be a good strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think I'm the same there. I think the two key things I think Stadia is trying to put all their resources and energy into is getting on as many platforms as possible and not being as inclusive and, as you say, as a tight ecosystem. And also trying to get more of the bigger titles on their platform. So they're just trying to build up their library of the well-knowns and also the new games. I've noticed with newer games with Stadia, they're tightening that window of like, this is when it's coming out on all the other consoles, and then normally you have like a month before Stadia. Now that window's getting smaller, I've noticed, to the point of where some games are coming at tie-in with Stadia. Obviously, Cyberpunk being one of the major ones there. I think that's their two key spearheads. But as you say, the word of mouth is their biggest thing at the moment. We at the moment are their greatest kind of asset when it comes to advertising and promoting Stadia. Things again, we have no idea what's going on behind the scenes at all, but we'll see.
None at all. We're not privy to. I mean, very very early on, probably about a year ago, I guess, there were about 20 of us content creators that were all herded into a chat room with a couple of guys from Google. But it was more of an info gathering event from their end than they telling us anything. And we certainly didn't glean anything from that. But it was an interesting experience. But no, I tend to agree. I think, at the moment, Kumnar was mentioning, it's not if you sideload Stadia onto Google TV, it's not great. No. Well, it's not. They haven't officially released it yet. I suspect that it's got more to do with politics than anything right now. And I'm sure it'll come out shortly.
Yeah.
But it's certainly something that I'm really looking forward to. But I think that the what they will be looking to do, particularly as we know that Phil Harrison said in his one blog post that we were told about SG&E, he said that they will be concentrating on partnering with studios and developers
Yeah.
to have them use the whole kind of Stadia tech as the backbone to their cloud ventures. And of course, what's really important is not to be tied into Google-based hardware if you're trying to get a third party on board to use the technology. So I think what we will see is them moving away from this dependency upon Chromecasts and Stadia controllers and so on, so that it just becomes an application that runs on a multitude of platforms with a multitude of controllers. So I think that's probably the future, for this year anyway. Right, gentlemen. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for this special edition of Rokk and Ray, in which we announced, we broke to the world that I'm joining the Stadia Bash Community Network. Hugely excited about that. Just to remind you folks, coming up next Tuesday, Rokk's Blog Bash. Do not call it Bog Brush. I will not be happy if you do that.
Hashtag Bog Brush.
Yeah. Can I just tell the world where people can find you, Spectre, starting with your very good self?
Yes. You can find me on Twitter at Spectre, spelled the same way, SEETRE, Games187 on Twitter, and on YouTube you can just find me on Spectre Stadia. I'll be the first person to pop up on there.
Fantastic. That all went a bit Dalek-y, as they say in Britain, but I will put your contact details in the description after the show, guys. So if you want to come back and find these lovely fellas, awesome. And Blake.
You can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/c/Blake Stadia. You can also find me at Blake Stadia at Twitter.
Fantastic. Did you at any point ever think about calling yourself Blake 7, just out of interest?
Those people of a certain age group have suggested that to me. Can I just say, I can count the number of people who've asked me that on one finger.
Was it me?
It was you.
Yeah, it was just me. Oh, mate, that was my favourite show when I was a kid. When you were literally atoms in the universe. Waiting to be brought down to the planet. I was loving that show. And you can find me, as always, here, this very same place that you're in today, and at Stadia Rocks on Twitter. I have been Rokk, he has been Blake, and he has been Spectre. And just because it took me all day to make it, I'm going to run this one more time.
Yes.
Every time.
You love it, mate, don't you? Thank you so much, gentlemen. It's been an absolute
pleasure.
Sir. And thank you,
you,
chat, as always, for your
guys.
love and support. And we will see.
Everyone.
I will see you, and you never know. It might be these fellas here as well, but certainly members of the Bash Network next Tuesday at the time that the community blog goes live, and then on next Thursday, hopefully we'll have my dear friend Ray back for Rokk and Ray. We send him our love and best wishes. That has been it. Say goodbye, gentlemen.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, everyone.